So I've talked about being direct with women in the past and asking for what you want, and being clear that you want things to be sexual. And I've talked about this particular objection, but I found a better way to explain it. So I'm going to talk about it again. A lot of people talk about how important it is to form a connection first with girls because connection is the hardest part, and sex will just come. In my experience, that is the opposite of truth. The reality is intimacy comes after being with a person over time. If you are with a person, if you spend a lot of time with them, intimacy and connection forms if you're compatible. If you're not compatible, then it still forms. It's hard to stop yourself from becoming close to somebody you spend a lot of time with. Now, sexual connection is a lot more complicated, whether it will happen or not. There's so many reasons why a girl won't be sexual with you, even if she's attracted. Now, let me repeat that. If a girl is attracted to you, there are so many reasons why she still won't be sexually available to you. She won't be sexually intimate with you. And if you form a dynamic in the beginning of your relationship that doesn't include sex, it will be harder and harder over time for your relationship to become sexual. Now, it's possible, but it will become harder and less likely for you guys to become sexual over time. This is why I say it's very important to be sexual with somebody very quickly. Otherwise, if you're not sexual with them very quickly, you get into a situation where you don't know if she's going to be sexual, and if you do become sexual with each other, the dynamic is already, excuse me, as disgusting as fuck. Sorry, I'll cut that out. The dynamic is already set that your relationship is more about connection than sex. And it's fine to have a lot of connection and intimacy. I love intimacy with women. I love being close to them. But if I'm looking for something sexual, I want to create a dynamic where sex is expected and enjoyed, rather than a dynamic where the first and foremost thing we do together is connect, and sex is something that may or may not happen. I want it to be the other way around. I want sex to be a thing we do together, and connection is something that we enjoy around that. Even if I want connection first and foremost, because sex is also a form of connection. So if you go for sex, you get both of them. And I'm sure you have a lot of experiences where you're starting to get close to a girl and you thought you were very connected, and she liked you and she was attracted to you, and for some reason you never had sex. And even though you wanted to, you never had sex. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating. I've been in this situation several times. I've created friendships with girls in the expectation, even friendships that were like really flirty, and like maybe we made out a few times, and there was a sexual aspect to it, but I didn't try to have sex. I thought wasn't supposed to. I thought I was supposed to have connection. One girl in particular in college, absolutely gorgeous girl, amazing personality, liked a lot of the things that I liked, and I had the opportunity to have sex with her, and I didn't. Thankfully, I did pull the trigger a little late on actually making out with her, which was amazing. I very much enjoyed that. We made out several times, and I brought her back to my place at one point when we were hanging out, and I had the opportunity to have sex with her, and I didn't. I got scared, and I didn't push for it, and over time, I still kept hanging out with her, and we had a lot of fun when we were hanging out, but she started dating this other guy, and they got super close, and they started dating and getting really serious together. And it was just because I didn't pull the trigger. I didn't pull the trigger on sex. I pulled the trigger on intimacy and connection. And in the end, I blew up the friendship because I was like, well, actually, that's what I wanted. I don't want this friendship. And it hurt her, and it hurt me because we formed this great friendship, and it was it was really cool. She was gorgeous. I liked being around her. She had an awesome energy. She was so energetic. She was into art. In fact, we actually met in art class, and in the end, it just was not. It did not work out like I wanted it to, and it was very unfortunate because if I had just pulled the trigger when I wanted to pull the trigger, she was in my apartment. She was down. We could, maybe she could be. Maybe we'd be still dating. I mean, she's a fucking amazing girl. I have a lot of a lot. I wanted her a lot, so we could be still dating. Who knows? So in the end, it's extremely important to go for sex because that is the way that you circumvent the frustration that comes with, is she available, is she not available? You find out super quick. And then if she's not available, you can still be friends with her if that's what you want. I'm friends with girls. I have this one girl actually that I'm friends with, and we actually met. I met her at an event that I was shooting, asked her out on a date. She said yeah. She wasn't down to even kiss me on the date. And I was like, okay, whatever, like, I'll just move on. And then we kept seeing each other at events afterwards, and she was actually really fun. She was like, I enjoyed her, being around her very much, and now we're friends. So another aspect to it is, even if you do care about connection and friendship and you go for sex first and she says no, then go the hell ahead and be friends with her. There's nothing that says you can't. I've done that several times. The issue is the opposite way is not possible. It's not possible to go for friends, at least not sustainably, to go for friends and then try to turn that into a sexual thing. Go for connection, let's say. Try to turn that into a sexual thing. She turns you down, which she doesn't always. Maybe sometimes it'll actually work, but most of the time she turn you down. I would say probably most. She turns you down, and then you try to go back to being friends. It's going to be awkward, and you might be able to do it, but you're going to have to get over this period of awkwardness and like, oh, did that happen? Did that not happen? Like, what are we supposed to do about it? Now I know you like me. Are we supposed to have sex? But I don't want to have sex. Like, this is weird dynamic now. But if you went for sex first, she said no, and you fully are comfortable with being friends with her and never having sex with her ever, and you become friends with her, then that's great. Now you're friends. So I just wanted to make the case again after I've thought about it a second time. I have better words to describe it, and I hope that this helps you understand why it's so important to be direct with women and go for what you want. So if you're curious about how to improve your online dating and you want some of my advice, take a gander in the link below and schedule a call with me. I will critique your profile for you on a one-on-one call for free. So check that out. At some point, I will be overwhelmed with calls and have to not do that. So yeah, take it while it's there, and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to, and get more of me. Goodbye.